welcome to this episode of Let's Talk AppSecOps. My name is Mark Lambert, VP of Products at ArmorCode. I'm joined by my very good friend, 𝗙ecie Guzman. How are you doing, Luis?
How's it going, Mark?
I'm excited. Good. It's going good. So Cybersecurity Month, or Cybersecurity Awareness Month just finished. And, you know, we've got another podcast that we're going to talk about where we'll talk about the top trends. But I figured that really, even though, you know, we're in the industry and, you know, obviously we live, eat and breathe application security and helping organizations scale the delivery of software, but Cybersecurity Awareness Month for me is more than just the cyber industry. It's really about our friends and family. And really the number one thing for me is passwords and how to protect yourself, right? And I know you and I have talked about this before. You have popped my iPhone, as you like to put it, when we were at RSA because I forgot to turn off Siri. So I figured let's look at a couple of things and sure. let's talk about that. So I thought one of the coolest posts that I saw actually in this month was actually this one here around your passwords, and I thought it was kind of. Yeah, this really spoke to me, like educating people about the importance of unique passwords. And, you know, this one saying, hey, put a comma in there and break the data dump. Okay, yeah, you might break the data dump, but it's not really going to impact it too much.
It's just an annoyance, right? It's a nuisance.
Just an annoyance. Yeah, somebody who's seriously motivated aren't going to actually solve that. But you and I both have a favorite tool that we use, and certainly a favorite you know, password protection mechanism, which is 1Password. And so tell me, Luis, why is this important?
Look, being able to access all of your different accounts with different actual passwords that are strong, and understanding that you can have it in a repository that is accessible only by you with the password that you made. You can make it 45 characters long. You can use your face now. You can use, you know, your thumb, depending on what kind of phone you have. You know, all of this comes into play because we have so many accounts, not just personally, but also corporately. And so you know, we start blurring those lines where we're having, you know, the BYOD conversation where, you know, Siri can, you know, pop us if we're not paying attention. And then having a password database, I think, is key to being able to really bring in the security for yourself, for your company, and for those loved ones that we talked about.
Yeah, and actually, you know, within my household, obviously, my wife is, you know, has her accounts and she uses the same password on different websites, and I'm like, ah. So, you know, I will say that, you know, I used to be against this kind of software. I was always thinking, you know, what if that got compromised? But the reality is, you know, even if it did, it's one central place that I can manage, and I don't have to worry about all of these unique passwords that I don't know where my reach is. So I mean, I'm a definite advocate for leveraging this type of thing.
Well, and then utilizing the iPhone, for example. The iPhone has, you know, on board, it says, hey, you've reused this password before. You shouldn't do it. Like,
the thing I found with that is it doesn't work so well when I'm transferring across devices, if I'm moving outside of the Apple ecosystem. And there is that challenge of saying, okay, well, where else have I used this password? And then kind of like the workflows, I think, in some of the other password management tools actually really help. Great. And this is, you know, this is one of the pieces of software that I really count on to keep my family and my friends secure. Now, the other thing, oh, you know what? And also they have an awesome promoter, right? So that Ryan Reynolds video in there
it's amazing. I was cracking up.
Is hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, preparing or saving your passwords is only one part of the security issue, though. And you know, I came across this article on the BBC actually in September. So okay, granted, not Cyber Security Awareness Month, but really interesting how, you know, thieves are basically, you know, going into the locker at a gym where nobody wants to question you, nobody makes eye contact in the locker room, breaking into the lockers and taking the cell phone with the credit card on there. And then, you know, you have multi-factor authentication and you think you're good. But if you don't have, and I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it.
Yeah, if you
Show
don't
previews
have,
never.
show preview never turned on, they can start communicating with your bank, and messages come to your phone. Multi-factor authentication is just now bypassed. So I think it's appropriate to not just have a bearing about the cyber and your passwords, but also thinking about the physical things which connect to that as well.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of jumping on that, you don't look at anybody when you're in the locker room?
No, no, not at all. Let's also talk about now we're on the physical device.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the riskiness of your cell phone. And you showed me these things when we were at RSA this year.
Oh, there's some stuff.
Just kind of like share a couple of those with us.
So this was a few years ago, right? And iPhone's gotten good about this, but just Siri by itself. When you go up to somebody, if you're a man or a woman that likes to go out and leave their phone everywhere, right? I've seen this. I've taken photos of people doing this at a hotel bar, right? When you go and you're going to order your food and you literally just put down your phone just like that. And then you leave, and then you come back and you're like, oh, I forgot my phone. And you come back and the phone's still there. Well, in the interim, right? In that little space of you disappearing, somebody could go get your phone and just say, hey, Siri, who am I? All right. And you saw what happened. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I could also say, hey, Siri, can you email mom? Right. A lot of people put their mother's name under mom. I do it in Spanish. Hola, Siri. Por favor, mándale un texto a madre. And then boop, it pops up and they're like, how did you do that?
or the one where you says like, text this number,
mm-hmm.
and immediately you were getting a text message from the phone that you just randomly picked up.
Exactly. And that was the easiest way. So meaning you could get followed, you could have stalkers that are following you as the female, as a male. You could have that. I mean, it took how many seconds? You literally left, came back. It was maybe 30 seconds.
I never will ever do that again. And especially around you. I can't trust you.
You can't trust me to. And here's the thing. It was just because I know you. But what if I was somebody nefarious trying to do something, bad? That's an easy way, because we talk about fishing and spear fishing, right, for big whales, and then just regular fishing for little fish. But that's an easy way to start it. So now you're like, hey, remember, we totally met up. I've got your number. You think I connected with you, but all I did was I took your number because I popped it from Siri.
Yeah. So I think, today, as I said, to wrap up Cybersecurity Awareness Month, I think that there are two takeaways. One is, passwords are really important. Use a system that enables you to create a secure password. And, I don't know the passwords to any of my applications anymore, because 1Password solves that for me. And the other is, be aware that your phone is a real security risk if you don't take care of it properly. Mm-hmm. Don't just leave it somewhere where somebody like Luis could potentially exploit it. Don't have it showing notifications so that somebody randomly could pick up your phone and potentially bypass, as we said, multi-factor authentication. Just be aware. So with that being said, Luis, thank you very much. Let's talk again soon. I think that we'll talk about the top 10 threats and trends for this year. I think that's the good next wrap up for Cybersecurity Month.
It's going to be good.
All right. Awesome.
Thanks Mark. Man. All right. Bye.